the 1960s, as part of the ongoing dieselisation, the New South Wales Government Railways was in dire need of a diesel shunting unit that could handle the requirements of the smaller junction marshalling yards, larger intermediate stops, and the workshop needs. To resolve this, the X100 and later X200s were designed and built entirely in the system's own workshops from the early 1960s. They were then reclassified as shunting tractors and renumbered X101 and X102 before being allotted to Wauchope and Coffs Harbour. Originally painted in a crimson, red and cream colour scheme, they were later repainted in the standard Indian red with chrome lining. They were confined to yard limits due to a lack of a train brake, and as such could not be operated in the same way as regular locomotives. This limitation, and a need for greater tractive effort, led to the development of the larger and more powerful X200 class. The X200 class were a class of rail tractors introduced in 1963 and operated by the New South Wales Government Rails of Australia. They were the successor of the smaller pair of X100 classes. The X200 class remained in service until 1990 when they were either withdrawn or sold off to private companies. The X200 class would be introduced in 1963 in two variants. The first X200s, commonly known as the Mark Is, were 3 times more powerful and twice as heavy as the X100s. 6 examples were built and numbered X201 to X206. They were built using a number of steam locomotive spare parts. They were built on the inner bogies of the 8060 Bay Garrett class locomotives and used spare C36 class locomotive windows in their cabs. Their engines were rated at 260 horsepower at 2,100 RPM and had a top speed of 24 miles an hour. The rounded shapes of the hoods and cab give it a baby brother appearance to the mainline 42 and 44 classes. The addition of the train brake allowed them to be run on the main line and also to be used as replacements for various ageing shunting locomotives. X201 was the first of this class entering service in December 1963. The 6 Mark Is were initially used in the Sydney metropolitan network, but did later find their ways beyond this region. A successor to the Mark I was later made, this being the Mark II. The Mark II series of the X200 class were different again. 12 examples were built and numbered X207 to X218. Once again, they were built from withdrawn Garrett locomotives. Their engines were more powerful, rated at 290 horsepower at 2,100 RPM, and they had a higher top speed of 32 miles an hour. This made them more practical for light line use. One was even rostered on the Yass tramway, previously the domain of the Z13 class tank locomotives. The Z13s were called back to Yass during periods after the X200 failed due to transmission faults. The exterior design of the Mark II was a lot more boxy, giving it the appearance of a baby brother to the 49 class diesel locomotives. The first 6 of these were built in 1967, with the second 6 being an additional order. They were placed into traffic from May 1968, with the final member of the class entering service in December 1968. Despite differences in engine horsepower ratings, both variants were rated as having a tractive effort of 17,750 pounds of force. This was more powerful than many of the typical small and workshop steam shunting locomotives of the time. Surprisingly, quite a lot of these rail tractors still survive today. The X100 still survive, with X101 being restored by historic electric traction and with X102 currently rotting away in the Dorrigo Steam Railway and Museum. For the X200s, X204, now renumbered X104, and X214 are also rotting away at the Dorrigo Steam Railway and Museum. X203 has been saved by the ARHS's Yass Railway Museum, X206 is operational at the Valley Heights Locomotive Depot Heritage Museum, X213 belongs to the Coffee Pot Group, and X215 and X217 are preserved by the Richmond Vale Railway Museum, the latter being operational. Anyways, did you guys know Fad made an X100 for Trainways? That's right, this rare locomotive will be added to Trainways version in 0.69. How cool is that? It's all confirmed by the big man himself. Watch this clip. See? It's confirmed. Get ready for the release. Be there or be square. Okay, bye.